Hello viewers, we are going to dive deep into Windows API, but before then I want to remind you that this tutorial is for those that already know HTML. You must know the basic of web development for you to be able to follow along in this video, guys. I assume you already know HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This is because I will not be explaining HTML, CSS and JavaScript in this tutorial. If you're already a developer, whether a front-end developer or back-end developer or full-stack developer, so you can be able to use the already knowledge to build desktop or hybrid desktop application. Okay, that is exactly what we are learning, guys. We are not learning HTML, we are not learning CSS, and as well, we are not learning JavaScript. So we are learning how to use the knowledge we already know, which is web development, to build hybrid desktop application using the framework known as NeutralinoJS. All right. In case if you find anything relating to HTML, CSS difficult, you can easily learn the basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript before diving into this tutorial. Okay, you can use AI to generate your web application and just replace what is needed to replace in your Neutralino application with it. So that's what I want to let you people know, guys. Thank you for watching. Hello viewers, welcome back to this NeutralinoJS tutorial where we are learning about how to use NeutralinoJS to build hybrid desktop application with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In this video series, we are going to discuss about the Windows API. Let me quickly show you the documentation. Now, I have already saved the documentation on my desktop because I am offline, okay, but I'm going to leave the link for you to access the documentation. When you access the documentation, you need to click neutralino.window. That is one of the API that I'm going to discuss in this series. So in this video series, you are going to learn everything you need to know about the neutralino.window API. You can see the neutralino.windows namespace contain method related to the current native window instance, and this namespace method will work only for the Windows mode. So everything we are going to discuss is going to work for the Windows mode, that is the desktop Windows you are building. We're going to discuss about the setting of title, get title, minimize, everything you do with your normal Windows application. We are going to learn how to do it using Neutralino API. Okay, so these are the documentation. In case if you want to go through it, you can go through it and also follow along if you wish to follow along. I will be using this documentation for the tutorial, guys, so we are going to follow along using the documentation. Let me minimize it for the meantime. Now, okay, I have a terminal open. Let me also minimize the terminal. Now, in the previous class, guys, we created a Neutralino application on our desktop. This is it. I name it Neo Tutorial, and you can see the folder that contains our application. I'm going to right click on it and select open with code. That is to open it in VS Code. I click on it. Okay, it has opened in VS Code, guys, and this is the last project we created where we discuss about the configuration and other features we discuss in the application. Okay, let me quickly launch this application so that you just see the basic app we started earlier. I'm going to open the terminal. Here I'm going to type neo run. So this is the command to start neo application, guys. Press enter. Now you can see the basic application we started earlier. This is the basic application. So but we are going to go deep into studying the API. When we finish studying the API, guys, before we start building the real project, remember we have different API. Okay, we have different API. You need to know all these APIs and other features that is available for you to build your Ray application. I don't want to jump into building application without you studying the API, because we will be making use of this API during the Ray world application, and as a result you need to learn the basic of the API provided for you by NeutralinoJS. They have a detailed documentation about this API, which you can also study it on your own. All right, when we finish studying all these APIs before we start building a real world application. All right, now let me just minimize this for now. You can see the basic application we started earlier. We are going to restructure this our project. We are going to restructure this application so that we can practice with the Windows API. As a result, I have provided a sample file for you. You can access the link to download the sample file from the description of this video. From the description of this video, if you want to follow along, you need to download the sample file I have provided for you. And when you open it, you are going to see something like this. When you extract the file, inside the folder, you are going to get the CSS and the HTML and also the JavaScript. I'm going to put the completed version of the JavaScript into the JavaScript file. If you don't want to follow along, guys, and you just want to see the completed version of what we are building, you can just copy the JavaScript and put in the JavaScript section of your Neutralino application. You will just see how it functions. This is not a real application, it's just the practice file to enable you to work with the Windows API. I'm going to open the resources folder. Inside the resources folder, we have the HTML. This is just the basic HTML we have, guys. You can see the basic HTML. If you go to the sample file I provided, you are going to see the HTML. So I'm going to open it. Then I'm going to copy everything here. I'll just copy everything. Then come to the HTML of our Neutralino application. Going to remove everything and paste the one I copied. Save it. This is a pure HTML, guys. You can see pure HTML, but what you should include, make sure you include NeutralinoJS, which is available in the JS folder. This NeutralinoJS is provided by Neutralino by themselves. Okay, you don't need to change anything inside this file, guys. Inside NeutralinoJS, you don't need to change anything. All you need to do is to include it before your custom JavaScript. But the custom JavaScript can be your own script file. For the meantime, what we have here, I'm going to clear everything. I'm going to clear it. I'm going to clear from here and remove everything. I've already explained to you what this line of code is doing, guys, in the previous video. I have already explained it. So you must need these lines of code for your application to run. That is why I am allowing this one. So this is a Neutralino specific now. This is a Neutralino specific feature which you need to allow in your application for it to run. Okay, this is just the basic line of code you need for the Neutralino application to run successfully. Even if I remove it, our app will still run, but the functionality will not be there. Okay, let me go to the CSS. Now I'm going to remove the default one provided by NeutralinoJS. I'm going to remove the CSS. Open the sample file. Here I have the CSS file here. You need to copy the CSS. I'm going to copy the CSS from here. Let me go back and paste it into the CSS file of the NeutralinoJS. Just paste it here. Save it. You can see now we just have the basic HTML structure, guys. For you to see the basic HTML we have here, guys, okay, for you to see it in the UI, I'm going to right click on it. What you need to do is to right click and review in Explorer. Okay, so since it is just a normal HTML, I'm going to double click to open it in a browser. You can see it is open in a file system. As you can see, this is just the basic HTML, guys, and this basic HTML will enable us to practice what we want to learn about Neutralino Windows API. We will be adding more HTML as needed. If you have copied this sample file and put into the NeutralinoJS, alright, then you are good to follow along in this tutorial. Okay guys, now that we have added the HTML, let's see what we have in our Neutralino application. Okay, remember the app is already running. If it is not running, what you need to do is to type new run like this in the terminal. You need to type new run. So if it is not running, you need to type new run to start the application in development mode. I'm going to press enter. This is what we have, guys. You can see the Neutralino application. This is what we have. I can maximize it. Okay, because it here, so I can close it. So I cannot close it because I removed the basic HTML. Okay, remember we link this main.js. You can rename this main.js to anything, but the basic file for you to be able to close this application, remember the basic code that I introduced to you. So let me just paste the code here. Okay, so this is the basic code you need for the window to be able to close. Okay, so we cannot close the window now, but let me just quickly save this main.js. Let me save it now. Let's go back to our application. Close. Still not able to close it. Unable to close. Let's see the console if we have error. I think there is no error, guys. There is no error in the console. What you need to do is to restart the application. I'm going to stop it. That's the Control C to stop it and run the new run again. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's try to close it. Now you can see we are able to close it. We were able to close it now, as you can see. Now this is just the basic code you need for you to run this application, guys. And we have added some HTML, CSS. Okay, we have added CSS, the style, and if I run it again, you can see the UI. It is purely HTML. This is the UI of what we are going to use to practice the Neutralino Windows API. Okay, it is purely HTML and CSS. We have not even added much JavaScript, guys, just the basic one you need to close your Windows application. All right, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.